What if I told you that the answer to every little thing that you've been wanting and hoping and wishing and dreaming for is already inside of you? But there's a catch. You'll only find it and discover it and know how to use it when you're ready for it. See, all the time, people ain't ready for shit. People, we think we ready for stuff. Like I had a homeboy of mine. We said, man, we wish we was trying to think we was trying to become millionaires in high school. Do you know what would have happened if me and this dude would have become millionaires in high school? All the dumb shit we would have did, all the foolish things and bad decisions and lives we would have destroyed. We would have been out here going recklessly, turning two 17, 18-year-olds loose that ain't never had money, ain't never had nothing, would being multimillionaires. You realize how detrimental that went? But in our mind, we thought we was ready for it. And then it's not that we can't have things at a certain time, but a lot of times we're not ready to hear what we need to do or the actions or the changes that need to take place in order for us to get to it. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to give up the club in order to become a millionaire. We don't want to look broke for 3 years to live wealthy for 30. We don't want to do that type of stuff. And this one truth that I'm going to talk about really changed me, and maybe, hopefully, it can maybe provide some change, some guidance, or if nothing less, a different perspective. So a lot of times it's not about knowing it all and being the smartest. It's about being a person that's willing to be open to hear perspectives, because yeah, you may go around and hear a lot of shit, and a lot of the shit you hear may be bullshit. But being an open listener, an active person to hear different perspectives, you're going to pick up some stuff along the way. Everything you hear ain't going to be yes. You're going to find some dirt. And sometimes that's where you find the gems. Like they said, the diamonds that are nestled down in the dirt. You may have a lot of dirt going on around you. But when you get down and you ruffle through some of that stuff, push all the BS and the fluff to the side, and get down to you may actually find some diamonds and some stuff you can actually use. And I just encourage you to stay throughout the video, because this actually could cause a shift. So like from a very young age, I kind of fashioned myself that I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be wealthy, all the trappings and things that I was sold. And I have to correct myself at times, because I say a lot of that stuff was stuff that I was sold is not was not what true wealth was at the time. But I didn't know, so I'm thinking, the cars, the clothes, the big mega houses that I probably would be scared to be in by myself, be paranoid, turning to Liam Nielsen around my own damn house because it's so big, things you find out later. But I fashioned myself. I was going to be rich. That was my motto. That was my theme. That's what I went after. And throughout the years, it was good, because people like to hear a person being aspirational, because not many people, most people are cool. There's nothing wrong with it, but most people are cool with where they're at. And people, it does enliven inspiration in other people when you're talking about what, you're going after. And one of the true things that happened is that I've spent several years on different paths. As I say many times, I bought every lotion and potion out there, every plan, system. Some worked, some was BS. As I was just talking about, I was had an open, active listening ear. I was willing to hear a different idea, or what somebody else was doing. I was always interested in that. But in my search, you would think, I asked myself one question: man, Kyle, out of all the stuff that you done did, you didn't sit here, went through this plan, this program, went to this seminar, this workshop, set up on weekends reading this book, then this book. and you ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, which is the true scale reality for a lot of folks out in the personal development, the metaphysical, the woke community. It's a lot of people can recite quotes from Think and Go Rich, Power of Subconscious Mind. They know all the Les Brown books. They know all the metaphysical terminology. They know all the Black history facts. And at the end of the day, you say, for what? Like, what power did it really wield me? So in my attainment for wealth, reading all these books, Think and Go Rich, Power of Subconscious Mind, The Secret, all of the metaphysical positive thought teachers, even some of the woogie boogie ones that folks are scared of to this day, and listen to this. And I was like, damn, I ain't really got nothing. So what is this really profiting me? Like, does this work? Is this a lie? Am I just doomed to be poor and suffering and trying to figure out how I'm gonna make it? Or like, what is the end to all of this? And because I don't have anything, and it seems like each book I've bought, each program or plan that I've bought into and invested to has maybe, like I said, didn't have success. I had a smidge of success, just enough to keep me going, like a drug, like you're on the hamster wheel and you're chasing this next book and this next teacher and this new level 2 training and all of that bullshit they be talking about. And that question came to me at a time when I was ready to really face the music and hear it. A lot of times we don't want to hear about it. We don't want to hear what we need to do, because when I was answering that, it was a mode to stop on the hamster wheel. I got off of my metaphysical success hamster wheel, but a year or two ago, I wouldn't have been able to accept that message. It wouldn't have been important to accept for me because I wasn't ready to hear it. A lot of times that shift that you need or change, it's going to come exactly when you're ready, not a moment before or after, and I've even had moments where when I have those shifting moments where it kind of clicks for me, I have those moments where now I'm like, damn, I've been saying this to myself for a minute, and now you're just taking that action to make it happen. Being into a lot of the things that I was going after to try to get what I wanted, while I had noble intentions, I had programmed myself into a behavior. And the behavior of I needed the next book, the next program, the next lesson, the next coaching, the next system, that's the old system, this is the new system. And it's like, and just on a real level, I was like, God dog, man, shoot, bro, I didn't sold pretty decent in here, man. I ain't even got a fifth of the return, from what I'm putting in. And that was like a point of like where you start to break the behavior. We've been stuck in a rut for several years, and then we wonder, oh, ain't nothing changed, and I've been trying for years. You haven't been trying. You've been saying you want to try, but having a different behavior that opposites. And I had to give up, and because the secret in it is that if you're unsatisfied with where you are in life and like what's going on in your life, you don't like it, you wish it was better, or maybe things are okay, but you've got like this notion for, oh, I want better with this. And if you've got that notion that, I want better, it's going to require a new person. So while we're thinking it's something, while I was chasing my shift externally in a book, a program, a lotion, a potion, a training, or this method or that method, a new way, or this and that. Y'all know, if you really pay attention, it's a new trend in the money making field, versus franchises. Now it's this, now it's food trucks, now it's street cocktails and all other stuff that we ain't even gonna get, legal and illegal, stuff to go on. So, but I couldn't really change in any of those things at all, because that wasn't where the shift needed to happen. And I'm going to come in defense because I'm not throwing dirt at all the systems, plans, and programs, because maybe one day I'll have my own system, plans, and programs. Well, I'm sharing it here now, what the hell is going on, and how I'm navigating, right or wrong. I know somebody then picked up at least a thing or two from some of the many videos I have. Y'all have time to go and check those out. But the shift wasn't out there. Some of the programs and the things were BS. Some of them were real, but I didn't have that marker inside of myself. And when people go for a change, immediately somebody's here, buy this, or you need this, or you need to talk to this person, need to do this. And they give you like a prescription. And those are good to a degree, but like the behavior, like myself and a lot of people in that area, of wanting change, we just be so hungry for change. Sometimes the first thing that is offered to you, you do accept it. Sometimes that's the marker of success for you. You go in there and you accept that, and you're like, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take this and that. And all of that shit in the end starts bogging you down. And then my point, when I had to realize that, okay, we know it's new behavior. So you mean I can't run to get the new book, the new program, the new system? I can't rush to go get that at first. I'm unable to do that. I can't run to get that program or that, and I would be itching because this was a shift of old behaviors. And again, my story may not be your story, but one of the interesting things was that the resistance that came when I tried to change, because I was like, okay, Kyle, that's sitting here buying book after book, program after program, seminar after seminar, training after training, it is not working. Like I said, I spent so much on all that stuff. I should have been out here materializing money out of air. I should have been able to snap and $100 bill appear. That's what should have happened for me. It wasn't nowhere close to it, because I would have been snapping for days the debt that I was in. So we had to create, okay, so let's do a dude that ditches being caught in this, gotta buy this program, this reading, this balancing and all this shit. And let's focus on the core and the shift inside. Because I was like, if all the programs ain't working, this is where you get to real growth. If all the programs ain't working, maybe it's not them. Could it possibly be something that I need to work on or do for me? Could it possibly be me? Ooh, that's why I say a lot of the things, you don't really get the real answers until you're ready to hear them. Because I think about me at times, and a lot of us that we have out here today are so intertwined in our ego and arrogance that we always the hero. We always, and people don't realize is that doesn't instill anything good in you. That instills, resentment in people, makes people not like you. It is not a humble thing. But we get so lost in our ego at times of who we portray to be are, and our arrogance and what image we're trying to uphold, that we miss a lot of valuable lessons. That's the blocker, where the shift that you needed or may need now, more often than not, is being blocked by arrogance. And you may say, I'm not arrogant. What image are you trying to uphold? Because as I just said, that image that you're trying to uphold, that old you that has not been getting the life and the results and the change and the shift that you want, that old you has to go away and a new person has to step in place. So that means all social standards and everything that you built up around that person have to now pull away. A good example is when I was 28, I purchased my first home, owned my first car free and clear in cash, had a good job with the state, you know, sort of had everything in a place where people say you solid, you stable, and gave it all up in the form of entrepreneurship. I wanted to strike it out on my own. A lot of the standards I had with Kyle, that was the this, the that, he got his stuff stable, he in the community, he doing his own thing, to damn near looking like a vagabond or a hippie, like damn Forrest Gump walking and going across the country, lost a lot of those standards. And a lot of us can't make those shifts into the new person because you worried about what they will say. That old standard person that was cool, like I learned this too. When you start shifting, when you really start making that internal shift, a lot of shit don't even agree with you anymore. A lot of stuff don't even connect with you anymore. You know, like a lot of people that, when I was in certain phases of life, a lot of people that thought that I was cool, they thought I was cool as hell, man. Kyle, cool, man. It's a blast. I became lame too. A lot of that shift and that new person that you're going to be and going after in life, you're being shifted, and you're not probably going to be cool with those people anymore. And the danger of the lesson that I learned is you try to hold on, you know, so you try to hold on to the people, and it creates more tension, more strain and drama. That's how y'all running around here. You know, like a lot of y'all be feeling like, and I'm gonna be truthful with it. A lot of y'all talking about haters ain't got haters. It's your own imaginary haters that you created through your insecurities. Whole nother video and a whole nother point. Again, if you're ready to hear the message, a lot of the stuff I talk about on here is not for everyone. It's for you. If you've got into it, you're ready to hear it, like we're talking about in this video. So you got to let go of the old person, and letting go of the old different me's over time. I've lost friends. I've lost love. I've lost opportunity, money, you know, had to go from living very comfortably to, you know, on an air mattress, you know what I'm saying? And back up to a California king size bed, you know. So and that's life. We're scared on social media to talk about those things and really convey real life that, you know, yeah, it may be a billionaire watching this video, but you know, more people can relate to what I just talked about. If you don't have to say it in public, because I know we got to keep our images up, but you know, for me, I gave up the image thing a long time ago. It is what it is, you know, but I've been up and I've been down, and I think that's an authentic thing enough that anybody can relate to, because you didn't have moments where you up, you riding high on the hog. Yeah. Hopefully I'm not sharing too much with y'all, but you know, I'm just trying to be a little bit more open and authentic. We're all working on things and works in progress. So, you know, if you're willing to let go, or you want to make the effort to let go, I'm not gonna sell you some sugar-coated, candy-coated thing like they sell you. Oh, and you'll dance off into bliss, and your chakras will be aligned, and the ancestors will sing your name. It's gonna be a challenge on that route to change. It's gonna be a challenge. There's gonna be a little challenge, you know, and it's, you know what? It's nothing wrong with that, because you're taking that old skin, you taking that broke you off. You know what I'm saying? You taking that, ooh, I hope they give me a chance to spend time with my family off. Now you have to grit, and you may have to grind during the process. Yeah. You thought it was going to be easy, but aren't you going after something that's willing, worth fighting for? I say choose your hearts. You know, it's hard working check to check. It's hard trying to ask these folks for permission to go see your family, or when you just need time to sit at home. It's hard. So I'll take my heart of taking a strike or a chance at something that's going to make me successful and make me money and change my life, put on a new me. I'll tear the old me off. Let me take them drawers off, boy. They ain't smelling right. And that's a real thing. A lot of us, and take from me, a person that knew I figured out all of this stuff, and you would think that I took the action. Hell no, I still remain in illusion and folly. I was still trying to keep people around that did not fit the new me. And after bumping my head, you start clashing with people because you're moving in one direction, they're moving in the other direction. And sometimes it's a clean break, but sometimes, that's how y'all create haters. That's how haters get created, because you're around people you're not supposed to be around. You doing what you're supposed to do and moving into your new life and winning, and you still trying to keep the same draws on. Some of y'all, like, I hate to say it, and they tell us to keep, I'm from the country, so they preach in the country, stay stable, do the right thing, keep to yourself, don't bother nobody. If something ain't broke, don't fix it. But let me tell you, a lot of shit has been broke in our lives that we keep trying to walk around. The chair, the leg is missing on the chair. That's what I would say if I could go back to my past self knowing what I know now. Kyle, stop trying to sit on that chair with two legs. Kyle walks over and sits on the chair that he's been instructed only has two legs. Kyle puts all of his 250 pounds, 6'7" frame down on that chair and crashes violently to the floor. Kyle gets mad. Man, this chair keeps making me hit the ground. Kyle, the chair's missing two legs. A lot of things in our life have been broken, and you keep trying to hold on to them. You keep trying to piece them together. It's missing a leg. I spent years successfully, and I'm not even sure how the hell I did that shit, successfully giving my time, effort, and energy to strings that were attached from the old me that was not what I liked, and moved into the new me and still trying to keep the same draws on. Y'all wear the same draws every day? I'm I don't know. Maybe that's a new thing. But you ain't finna go. I hope, I don't know what the limit is, but I hope you wouldn't go 3 or 4 different places over 3 or 4 different days with the same draws on. And you got to be careful, because I've seen people shift into where they want to be and that person that they want to be in life. I've seen folks do it. And then I've seen them try to keep those same people around them, those same tag-alongs that don't. And I'm not saying everybody got to get chopped, but there will be some chopping. what they say, there will be some cutting going on. There will be a few snips. Don't expect to start with 100 and go from 0 to multimillionaire and you still got 100. There's some that's going to remain. There are people in your life, and there's people in my life that have remained constant. I'm not saying that everyone was cut off, but I've seen people get to the dream them or start gaining some success, but because they kept a certain type of person, place, or thing around that did not fit that new them, it ended up taking it all away from them. And that's what they call when people bring you back. Oh, he back. He'll be back. He went to college. He'll be back. So while we've been discussing a lot with each other, I've been enjoying it. I'm taking my time, because when I get content in videos like this, it's coming from the heart. It's coming from lessons learned. And when I can just be candid with them and tell my follies as well as my triumphs, it's like a weight. I tell people, like, yes, I have aspirations for what I'm doing with media, but it's great to do it on your terms. Great to do it in a way that I envision, working towards the vision like, we're talking about here. But I want to condense it down and go through it, because I really think that this could be of benefit to you. Not many people are gonna, most people probably that this wasn't for, clicked on this and click off. It holds no resonance. As we're talking about, it doesn't mean that the message is bad. It doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that at this point, this is not for them, and that's cool. But if it's for you, step one is that you only hear it when you're ready. Some people could watch this whole thing and it'll be as if I'm speaking another language that they don't even know. You know, the universe, God, whatever you decide or choose to term it as, it's always speaking to us. The answers are already there for the life and whatever changes and that you want to see happen for your life. It's already there. But you can't really hear the messages because, you know, as they say, you're lost in the sauce. You know, we only hear the messages when we're ready to receive, but we call out and say, I want to be this, or I want this in my life. And the answer's there just like that. But you're like, I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing. The question is, are you ready to hear it? Maybe something you don't want to hear. I've gotten times where it was new things I needed to happen. And it came to me, oh, you got to snip this. And guess what? The snipping always was something. It was always damn near the last thing I wanted to snip. I was like, well, can I give up liquor? I don't want to. Answer was there. I wasn't ready to hear it. But when I was ready to hear it, I heard it and I took action. And it's 100% foolproof on the other side. It may look scary because you got this OU set up. But if you take a chance to snip, prune some of that those weeds out, boy, woo, might make your head blow off. You know, you think about it. Have you had someone give you the same advice over and over and over again, and then one day it clicked? Like now, I would say between 35 to now I'm at 38. 90% of all the stuff that my grandparents were saying and telling me when I was young and when they were raising me, it clicked now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the old saying, you don't miss your water till your well run dry. I'm like, oh, this damn country shit. They keep saying the same stuff. You know, I thought it was a joke as a young adult. Now I'm here at 36. Like, damn, man, you wish you had kept that little thing going, bro, because you know that was pretty cool. Why you was complaining? It wasn't nothing compared to the hell you catching now. You don't learn some of them lessons till you live it. And you hear this. We hear this advice so much, and you may hear this. And I've heard messages and came back a year later to the same video or the same message, and went to something that this person did when they first started and had it click, and then heard it a million times until I actually lived and felt it. Eventually, one day that message clicks. And everybody say they ready for success. I used to say, I'm ready for success. I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I got my mission statement written down. But going for what you want, it requires you to be ready. It requires readiness. And you have to really ask yourself, okay, am I ready? And I suggest you take a deep breath. Hell, I suggest you take 3 deep breaths, because you're making a shift. You're coming out of an old skin into a new you. And it ain't a question. You know, a lot of times I've seen a lot of the personal development speakers say, well, you know, do you need to become a new person? The question ain't no, it's yes. If you feel uncomfortable in any state of anything as you currently are, right now you ain't working. If you want to be honest, you can blame the news, you can blame the president, you can blame the system. But right now, if you're unhappy with the results that you're getting in life, right now, there needs to be shifts, behavior shifts. And being ready to let go means, are you willing to let go of old beliefs, old systems, old ways of doing something? Are you willing to have, like I said, that open ear to listen? Some people just can't damn listen. A lot of people problem could be a millionaire and billionaire. They just don't want to damn listen to nobody or nothing. And that's cool. Then letting go of those identities that don't serve you. I'm not saying you got to just Oh, now you turned into this a whole different person, because drastic change is not always the answer. But you have to be willing to let go of those identities that no longer serve who you are becoming. That doesn't serve you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't get sometimes some of these cats out here in entertainment make all this money and still going back to street stuff. Boy, somebody like me that's, you know, at a point where you like, okay, I got to make sure when my bills coming up, to be at a point like that, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be nowhere near none of that stuff. That old identity would be gone. I'd be sitting up trying to buy some property, how to redevelop my hood. That'd be my dealing in my hood, is buying the land. How can we do overall economic impact and development into this area? How can we get this area a boost, if it ain't but for a couple years? And I know I don't want to just talk and have a program or plan behind a paywall. The one thing you may ask is like, okay, I'm ready for success. How do I know what I need to snip? Ask yourself this question. A lot of this stuff I put on you. And I like to try to put a lot of my stuff as far as I can to be contained. And I'm always pointing back at what you can do. Ask yourself, what are you holding on to that has you stuck, that you feel that sets you back, that you feel that causes a stumbling block for you? What is it? That's what you need to snip. And while we live in a noisy society and our modern minds are trained in uh, heavy complexity, we have to learn that the biggest changes and the shifts will come in silence. Not being loud and a bunch of words and a bunch of facts and a bunch of stones and a bunch of uh, designations after your name, but transformation happens in silence. And when you're ready, those answers are going to come, but it's not going to come in the chaos. It's going to come in the quietness. Some of y'all need to stop hanging out so you can get your blueprint. It's as simple as that. I figured out things with money when I stopped going to the club and blowing my money at the club, and just took a night off and figured out some stuff and had another $300-400 the next damn day, just by sitting down and getting an answer. You ain't getting no game out in the club. What is that serving you? And I'm not against it. I go out here and there, but it's not the basis that, like, it used to be a real important part of my life. Now it's like I'm mapping it out, especially being in my 30s, of how quickly I can be up out of there so I can go by my favorite food place and take my behind home. And what you can do is meditation. If you don't want to meditate, journaling. Go to and this is not a big money thing. If you got some scrap paper around the house, a notebook, or you can go to the Dollar Tree and get you a spiral notebook or a loose sheet paper, 99 cents. Get you a couple pencils or something and sit down and start writing what you're hearing in the silence, because that's where it's going to come. Yeah, as you get out there and get should be your foundation, and all the other programs, lotions and potions, if you choose to get in them, should just be additional add-ons. They're like, how can I say it, because I'm not a gamer, but they're like mods, like extra pieces that go on to it. But when they're your core, because these systems come and go, these things collapse, methods work for a moment, something may be the next little hit for 5 years, and then it's gone. And you get caught in that cycle. When you're the core, you're pulling your guidance from inside, and these other things are just tools that get you there. That's the transformative part, and that puts you in a point of power. Because as I'm doing this vlog, yes, I want my thing to grow and explode, but I'm not here to take any power. If I'm putting this all back on you, what can you be doing? What can you step up to the plate and make happen? If this message resonated with you, it's because you were ready to hear it. It's the perfect time for that thing that you've been on the fence on, the thing that you dreamed or you speculated on. This is the exact perfect moment. Y'all can call it the algorithm, you can call it Jesus, God, Buddha, Allah, universe, manifestation, ancestors, whatever you want to call it. This is the right time and moment for you. And take a moment today. It's such a beautiful day and ask yourself, what am I willing to let go of? And what am I willing to become? And look at it as if what you're willing to let go of, is it worth? I had moments, and I want to tell you this. I had moments where I gave up clubbing for 6 months and went and bought a damn car and sat clubbing for years with no damn car, only just to cut it out. I had to just forever give up clubbing. I had to rock out a little bit. Just 6 months accomplished some shit that I couldn't accomplish in 3 years. Now, as I've shared this message with you, I encourage you to share this with someone that you may think gets benefit or that could help. A lot of people be hearing shit and just put it in their pocket and keep it to themselves. No, share it, keep the flow. Because as you flow out information, more information flows into you. It's a cycle, not an eternal state. And if you're ready to start and take the step, get out there and do it. You got it. Slow down for a minute. Go get yourself a glass, sit in your room, put on some soft music, get you a notepad out, sit back and think, what the hell is going on in your life? What do you need worked out? Some of y'all say, oh, I be praying. Shut the hell up when you praying. That's the problem. A lot of people praying, you can't even hear. You couldn't even hear Jesus come through because you so damn loud. He was like, trying to get a word in. Silence is where transformation happens.